Hey family, it's Latrice. Welcome back to my channel. I am finally coming back to do a book review um, on two books that I finished this week. I've listened to several other audiobooks, but I'm just going to talk about two books today. I'm not going to talk about every book I listened to because I would never catch up. So it is Sunday, September 15th. And I finished my books. I think I finished both yesterday. So the first book is, and I bought some books. Anne Petry, The Street. I don't know if you can see that, so I'll include a clip. It was written in 1946, and it is about a single mom who just goes through a lot. She gets divorced. It tells the story of what leads up to her divorce, to her moving to the street, and the things that happen to her and her son while they are living on the street. It is a good book. It is a classic, like I said. I want to get the hard copy so I can include it in my collection. I'm trying to make my books primarily collections going forward. I just been buying books, and I say that, and I bought two books that are not, at this point, classics. So anyway, I do want to get this one in the hard copy, but to me, this book really speaks to my social worker heart because it talks about this lady and her story and the trials and tribulations she goes through as a single mom in the time period. I don't know, it was published in 46. So yeah, it's based in the 40s. But so the main character, Ludi, and her son, Bub, end up on the street, like I said, because of divorce, and a whole bunch of things happen, and it just tells their story. And it reminds me that even today, people do things not always out of malicious intent, that circumstances cause them to do certain things, have certain behaviors, and it's not always in their control while they're going through it. Like, it's hard to control your emotions in that moment. But when you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, can't believe I did that. So just be prepared. It is a heart-wrenching story, but it is a good story. She did really good writing it. What made me go back and read this, I read this in college, but Hello Corey, Qori, she's on YouTube. She was reading it. And I don't know if it's her first time or not, but I was like, oh my God, I remember that being a good book, but I wanted to go back and read it again. I'm glad I did because I did not remember. Once I started reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And I didn't remember in detail how much went on in that book, but I will buy the hard copy. So Anne Petry, The Street is a classic to me. It's a 5 if you're into historical fiction and realism. It tells the truth. The next book I read was The Best Way to Bury Your Husband. I bought this at Barnes & Noble's on Memorial Day weekend. I can take this out. I started and I read about I would say 2/3 of it. 3/4, 2/3. And then I switched to the audiobook because it was taking too long. It wasn't a book that made me want to pick it up and grab it and go ahead and finish it. So I ended up finishing it on an audiobook as I went on a walk yesterday with a group. And the end of the book to me was better than what led up to it. It is a slow burn. It is 4 women, unbeknownst to each other, have each killed their husbands during COVID. They are not in America, and they end up one by one connecting and trying to come up with a plan to bury their husbands. All their husbands were abusers in one way or another, and it was like a final act that made these women each kill their husbands. So they come together to try to figure out how to bury their husbands together. And it's an interesting story. Like I said, it's a slow burn. The end was the best part for me because there is a pivot right at the end that closes out the book, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is hilarious. The author's note, I don't typically read, but I listened to it on the audiobook, and she talks about domestic violence and the increase during COVID and all of those things. So she intentionally wrote it as a dark humor just to bring light to the issue. But I gave this one a 3. So if you're interested, I would say go ahead and read it, but it's not one I would say go and pay full price for. Try to get the audiobook or watch it for free. It's not bad. It's just, it was slow. So I have been trying to read that since I think the end of July, and here it is September, and I was like, girl, find the audiobook and finish it. So I found the audiobook on Libby. And I read The Street. I listened to The Street on Hoopla, which is also through the library. You can't check out as many books, but it's there. And usually I can find the book there if I can't on Libby if I want the audiobook. Anyway, so I went to Target today to return some earbuds and, of course, exchange them. And the earbuds, the electrical stuff, electronics is right by the book section. And I just said I wasn't buying no more books that aren't classics. But, you know, it's buy one, get one half off. So I ended up with 2 books. The first one is It's Elementary by Elise Bryant. And it was the afro for me in her headband. I love those colors, but the cover. And it is a mystery. I'm not sure if it's a murder mystery, but it is definitely a mystery, and it happens in an elementary school. This mom decides to become a part of the PTA, and then the principal goes missing. So she's going to help find that person, and it looks like it's a murder mystery because somebody dragging a body bag. So anyway, I thought the cover is what got me, and it was buy one, get one half off, which is really 25% off, but it's still a sale, and it was cute. And then this one is, I think Danny talked about this. Them 20% can go on the back. We already know Target. But this one is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, and it's the cover for real on this one that got me. I was like, oh my God, I love that cover. And these 2 were together on the shelf. So this one is about a young lady who's getting married, and she tells her significant other, her husband, you can't dig into my past. And he's like, okay. And this is what's on the back. But then they go to her hometown, to her house, and stuff starts happening. He's like, well, now I gotta look. And one of her childhood friends, it says, is in the house. So I don't know if it's her ghost, if it's her body, if it's her. But I was like, I walked away from the book and I came back and I'm like, well, I need to know, how's she in the house? So anyway, The Last Tale of the Flower Bride, and this is by Roshani. That's her name. Chokesy. That's why I didn't. Anyway, so I'm going to dive into It's Elementary tonight because I'm going to go babysit my grandkids, 3 of them. Their parents are going to a comedy show and did not invite me, but did call me to babysit. So whatever. I'm going to go hang out with the littles, and they should go to bed because tomorrow's a school day, but they're homeschooled, so they're probably going to try to play me. So I don't know if I'll be able to get into this tonight, but this is, I'm hoping this is going to be my next read. All right, y'all. Thank you for hanging in there with me. If you watch any of my previous videos about me buying books and talking about reading a book, it has taken me forever to do a book review. So thank you for hanging in there and watching this book review. I'll see y'all all on the next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. Talk to y'all later. Bye.